In the beginning, said the Aztecs, the white men came in one boat. Nearly 500 years ago, Spanish adventurers landed on a small island off the coast of Mexico. It was the first contact between the civilizations of the Old World and the New. The prelude to one of the greatest events in history.
It's a story of almost incredible endurance, heroism, greed and brutality. And all the more poignant today as we see its long-term effects unfolding across the globe. It's known still in the Americas as the conquest, the conquista. And the larger-than-life men who achieved it are the conquerors, the conquistadors.
Most mighty prince, wrote Hernán Cortés to the King of Spain, let me begin at the beginning. We sailed our ships to the land called Yucatan. Cortés was a poor boy from a small town, trained in law, not war, but he had dreams. A self-made man, he'd financed his own expedition, 11 ships, 500 soldiers. Like Columbus, he didn't know what lay ahead. He thought the land they could see beyond Cuba was just islands through which they could sail to China. It was April 1519. It's hard for us to imagine the shock of the new for people of the 16th century. For us, it would be like landing on another planet. To discover that the New World also had great civilizations with law, writing, and architecture. This was a revelation. What rational beings live here, wrote Cortés. This is the best and richest land that ever there was. The awestruck conquistadors christened one place El Gran Cairo. Cortés headed west to the Tabasco River, the frontier of the Mayan and the Aztec-speaking worlds. Still perhaps unsure of his next move, he landed in Frontera. The key to any close encounter is language, but Cortés couldn't talk to the Aztecs. He'd already found a Spanish sailor who spoke Mayan. And then, here in Frontera, he had his lucky break. Cortés was given a slave girl by a local chief. Her name was Malinani. But here in Mexico, everyone calls her Malinche. Malinche spoke Mayan and Nahuatl, the Aztec language. Through her, he could talk to them.
Cuando pasa a poder de los españoles, Marina se sigue comportando como lo que es.
Malinche was treated well by the Spanish, especially by Cortés. Some say she fell hopelessly in love with him.
El poder es afrodisíaco, sí.
Sí.
Yes, some say she was dazzled by the power of Cortés.
And how she's paid for it. Traitor, whore, goddess of death. For nearly 500 years, Mexicans have argued about Malinche and her relationship with Cortés. But Malinche was the one who would lead Cortés to his destiny. Cortés sails on up the coast, Malinche at his side. He keeps asking about gold. And everywhere, they tell him of a mysterious empire in the interior. A land called Mexico. He anchors at an island off the coast, the Isle of Sacrifices, just off the modern port of Veracruz. And it was here that Cortés had his first encounter with the Aztecs. In his letters, you can still feel his sense of wonder. Since then, the tale has become a myth. It's even immortalized in the movies. On Easter Saturday 1519, a magnificent embassy arrived from the ruler of Mexico. And even more strange, they seem to have been expecting Cortés.
Marina, find out who honors us in this royal manner.
Yes, my lord.
Not long one weekend.
Malinche translates their Nahuatl.
Say to the royal ambassador that I'm pleased to welcome him to my camp.
No te cuyotzin. It's motlano watilia na shimopalortikan in salanjaukis.
To his amazement, the Aztecs offer him wonderful gifts of gold.
And though Cortés was pretending to be the ambassador of a great king, of course he couldn't respond in kind. And as gifts to the Aztecs, he scraped together a chair and some trinkets and a red velvet cap, which their ambassador accepted, though he looked at them as if they were excrement. Then came the crucial moment in the conversation. "Do you have more gold?" says Cortés. "Because I and my men suffer from a disease of the heart that can only be cured by gold." "Yes, we do," said the ambassador. There could hardly have been a more dangerous admission.
Cortés now gave the Aztecs a show of his power. He fired his guns, rode his horses down the shore. The Aztecs were stunned. They'd never seen such things before. Their ambassador had his artists paint them as we would take photographs. The strangers, he said, have sticks which spurt fire. They ride deer high as a house, which snort and foam. Cortés was invited to make a camp, and he built a base here at Villarrica.
You can see it all from here, can't you? The little bay, the little headland where they built their fort. Tiny, isn't it? Just the first enclave in the New World. But it all started from here.